From the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, WFUM-TV presents the 1982 Michigan High School State Athletic Association Football Championships. And now the Class A championship pitting Dearborn Fordson against Farmington Hills Harrison. Hello everybody, I'm Jim Gaver. With me, Joe Roberson. Joe, this Class A game, always the big one every year, and this one should be no exception, a real big football game.
Two very fine football teams, Jim, mostly known for their defense. I doubt that we'll see the kind of scoring that has happened in a lot of other games this year.
Well, looking at the Detroit Free Press this morning, Charlie Justice, the head coach of Dearborn Fordson, just named in this morning's paper the Metro Coach of the Year. He's brought his Fordson team here for 4 straight years, or got into the playoffs, the computer playoffs 4 times. They've yet to win, so they've got to be hungry for a victory today.
Yes, indeed, and we have the unusual circumstance of a defending champion in Harrison, but they're defending out of Class B, and they've moved up to A. And so they're going to be ready too. And
even at that, they look to be a very, very strong team in this Class A championship, led by sophomore John Miller. In fact, in all 4 games today, there are only 2 sophomores who are in starting lineups. John Miller is one of them, and he could very well be the best running back that we see today. You see the Harrison band leaving the field. They've played the national anthem. We're waiting for the 2 teams to come on the field now, and we're just about 5 minutes away from the opening kickoff. Dearborn Fordson, as we said, is in the playoffs for the 4th straight time. They have never won in the playoffs. They've gotten here once. In the quarterfinals this year, they beat Monroe 29-7, and that was probably the key game, if not of the playoffs, at least for the year, I would think, for Fordson. Monroe had beaten Dearborn Fordson earlier in the year, the second game of the season, in fact, 34-14. So that was sweet revenge for the Fordson Tractors. In that game, Larry Kopcha threw 8 of 16 passes for 143 yards, so we're likely to see the ball in the air a little bit in this afternoon's contest. In the semifinals, played last week in the mud and rain, they beat Saginaw Arthur Hill 3-0 on a Richard Brooks field goal of 30 yards with 1:52 left in the game. And Joe, if there's going to be a game that we see played that truly is indicative of the word football, it's likely to be today's game between Richard Brooks for Fordson and Dave Blackmer, the All-State kicker for Harrison.
It's really interesting that last week in the semifinals, not a touchdown was scored by any of the 4 teams, and both winners came out off the foot.
And for Harrison, it was Dave Blackmer who kicked a 34-yard field goal with 5 minutes 40 seconds left in that football game to beat Milford Lakeland 6-3 rather. As you now see Farmington Hills Hawks come onto the field, coached by John Harrington. In that game last week, by the way, as a big cheer comes up on this side of the field for the Dearborn Fordson Tractors, led by their coach, All-Detroit Metro coach, Charlie Justice. Getting back to Harrison's semifinal game, Ken Kish, quarterback, 6'1", 175-pound senior for the Hawks, threw 11 of 16 for 127 yards, and we expect to see him go to the air. In fact, before the game, head coach John Harrington felt that they were going to have to put the ball in the air against this very tough Fordson, or Harrison defense, rather, to be able to move it at all.
Well, if we learned anything last year, when we were watching Harrison beat, who was at that time a heavy favorite in Muskegon Catholic Central, you're not going to run very effectively against Harrison if they're anything like they were last year. And if I remember you and I talking about in the second half last year that if Muskegon Catholic didn't establish a passing game, they were in trouble. They didn't, and they were.
A very, very impressive crowd for this game. The some 11,500 that were in the Silver Dome for the first game this morning, the Class D game, which Mendon won, was 2,000 more people than the High School Athletic Association put in the Silverdome for the Class D game last year, so we may well be on our way to an attendance mark and possibly go over that magic 50,000 number today.
Well, if this crowd's any indication, there certainly is a good-sized crowd here. Both sides of the stadium are pretty well packed. On our side, the Fordson Rooters; on the other side, the Harrison.
Farmington Hills, Harrison did win the toss. They'll receive. The Hawks are led, as I said, by quarterback Ken Kish. Behind him is Dave Blackmer, who's primarily known for his kicking. He'll be at the fullback position. John Miller, the super sophomore, 6'2", 180 pounds, will be at the tailback position for the Hawks. That's the way the backfield's set up. Their receivers are Adams, Dawson, Baker, and Schaefer. We'll set, as we just a minute or two away from the starting kickoff, we'll set the Dearborn Fordson defense for you. They'll run primarily out of a 5-2 defense. They've got Mark Brown, a 5'11", 180-pound senior, and Mario Brunetti, a 6'2", 190-pound senior, up front at the end positions. In fact, Brunetti scored a touchdown in the quarterfinals on a fumble. John Cascardo and Greg Koleski are the tackles. Richard Sorini is at the middle guard position. The linebacking slots, Bill Chiaophilos, a 6', 205-pound senior, and Ron Stewart, a 5'11", 190-pound junior. At the cornerback, Hassan Saad, a senior, and Hassan Jaffer, a 5'7", 160-pound senior. They're the cornerbacks. Leercho Pugina, the rover back at 5'11", 175 pounds, and Kevin Harris rounds out the defensive alignment for Dearborn Fordson at the safety position. There you see the Fordson team in their maize and blue as they break their huddle and get ready to kick the ball off to start this 1982 Class A Michigan State High School Championship.
Well, speaking of the Harrison defense, Jim, they played 9 games this year. They've had 5 shutouts and have never had more than 1 touchdown put up on the scoreboard against them the entire season. So we can expect to see a very tough defense.
And they're coming off, between their B and their A seasons, coming off a 22-game winning streak. As you see, Richard Brooks teeing the ball up for Fordson. He'll do the kicking off. Deep there is number 23. That's Dawson. And along with Dawson, John Miller on the far side of the field in double safety. A long end-over-end kick will come down at the 1-yard line. Dawson takes it there. He's back across the 10, looks for some room. He'll get out to the 18-yard line. And that's where the Hawks of Farmington Harrison will put the ball in play. Gordy Dawson on the return, a 6'1", 165-pound senior. The Hawks set up in the I formation. Blackmer close, Miller deep. Ken Kish calls the signal. This is John Miller, the sophomore. And he'll get hit out of bounds by number 82. That would be Hassan Saad, the cornerback. After a gain of about 3 on the play, 4, call it 2nd down and 6 to go.
I see they have Blackmer in the fullback position where he's going to be an effective blocker.
There's some question in the, he came off the field limping after one series of play in the quarterfinal, and there was a moment of panic for the Farmington Hills team as Kish wants to throw early, comes outside, and it's going to be ruled incomplete. Number 25, Jim Adams, was open down at about the 35-yard line. The pass was thrown just short.
Now the official was in excellent position, and he saw the little bit of a bounce off the AstroTurf.
Well, right off the bat, Joe, we see that this Farmington Hills team is not going to be afraid to throw the football.
No, I think that Dearborn's defense is tough enough that they're going to have to loosen them up as well.
Ken Kish brings his team to the line. They set again in the I formation. Gordy Dawson split wide to the left. Fakes on the draw, play action pass over the middle, complete to number 23, Gordy Dawson. There to make the play, Hassan Saad. but not before the play can cover about 12 yards and a first down for the Hawks. We'll take another look.
He has a lot of time to throw, Jim. Curl-in pattern and thrown right in front of three defenders. Excellent pass.
Yeah, and Gordy Dawson, the 6'1 senior, showing good concentration. The ball spotted at the 35-yard line of the Hawks, 1st and 10. Play action again. Again, it's Dawson and another fine reception. Check that. It's number 25, Jim Adams, and that'll be good for 12 yards and another first down.
Oh, this is kind of a surprise. I really didn't expect to see him.
Again, the play action. The rush a little heavier this time, and a fine reception by number 25, Jim Adams.
Yes, and Kish should get some credit because he was under pressure that time. He didn't have much longer to throw that ball.
Ball just short of midfield. Number 23 at the top of your screen, Gordy Dawson. Jamie Schaefer flanked closest to us. The handoff into the middle of the line. This is John Miller. Number 79, John Cascardo, a 6'2", 218-pound senior tackle of the Tractors, off the bottom of the pile. But not before John Miller can get a long 2 yards. Call it 2nd and 7. Ball now in Dearborn Fordson territory at the 49-yard line. Kish again running out of the I formation. Fakes into the line again. He'll go over the middle. Oh,
my goodness.
That hurt up here. Number 44, John Miller, the sophomore tailback, takes a real shot. We'll look at it again.
Yes, indeed. He faked to Miller into the line, and Miller cleared the lineman, dropped in front of the linebacker, and was open for a minute. But when it closed up hard.
A Lechero Pugina there to make that hit. From the 44-yard line, 3rd and a long 1. Again, they'll go to the air.
What a catch.
Beautiful catch.
Excellent catch by Dawson. That was thrown into traffic, and it looked for a minute like somebody was going to pick it up. Keep your eye on it here.
I believe it's number 82, Hassan Saad, the cornerback, steps up.
Just misses it. Excellent catch.
Gordy Dawson simply takes it away from him. Another Hawks first down. That's 4 first downs now in this series, or 4 for 4 on passing, rather, for Ken Kish. This time he goes to his fullback, Dave Blackmer. That's going to get nothing for him.
You begin to get the feeling that Harrison feels that they're going to have a hard time running against Dearborn, and they're putting the ball up and doing it very effectively.
8 plays, 4 have been passes, 4 have been rushes so far. Just underway. First period of play, Michigan State High School Class A championship from the Silverdome. 2nd down, 10 to go. Kish wants to throw again, looks over the middle. He's got his man. It's incomplete. Incomplete. The intended receiver, number 25, Jim Adams. He had the ball in his stomach, and it dropped it as it went to the ground. We'll take another look, see if we can see it. Just saw him scoop it up.
Well, I wonder what Blackmer's range is. I understand it's fairly good distance.
He was practicing 50-yard field goals before the game, and they're just about at that mark right now in this 3rd and 10 situation. Kish wants to throw. This is Blackmer.
He's out of range now.
Good defense on the part of the Tractors of Dearborn Fordson. They smelled the screen pass. It'll be a loss of 5 on the play, 4th and about 16 to go. The ball at the 39-yard line. Had they managed to stay right at the line of scrimmage, Blackmer could have at least given a shot at the 50-yard field goal. As it is, John Miller, who's averaging 39 yards a punt, and the ball is on the 39-yard line, is in to boot it away. Spiraling kick will come down at the 9-yard line. And hit immediately at the 9 is number 20, Kevin Harris. And so the Dearborn Fordson Tractors will have their first attempt at getting things rolling on the offense, and they're deep in the hole at their own 8-yard line.
Excellent punt coverage.
Take another look at it here.
Look at the white shirts.
Punt covered about 31 yards. Number 61 making the initial contact, Jim Barkach. Larry Kopchia calls the signals. Full house backfield for Fordson. This is Kevin Harris. He goes off tackle. He'll get a couple. Kopchia will have Paul Potterziba, Kevin Harris, and Laercio Pugina behind him. He's got Mario Brunetti and Mark Brown at his ends. Brown, a 5'11", 180-pound senior, is the offensive captain of this Tractors football team. Doug Doss over the ball at center. We'll set the offensive line for you after this play. This is Potterziba. He'll get out across the 15, give him maybe 3 on the play.
Fordson needs a couple of first downs here, Jim. They're going to be in position of giving the ball up in pretty good field position to Farmington.
It's 3rd and a long 2 to go for the Tractors. 6:04 left in the first period of play. No score. Just joined us. This is Dearborn Fordson's first possession. Again, the full house backfield. Long count by Kopchia.
It's going to be close.
Potterziba gets up close to the 20. See, we'll have to wait and see if he's close enough for the first down.
I believe he is.
And he is. 1st and 10 for the Tractors of Dearborn Fordson. Rest of that offensive line for you. John Drummond and Mike Agame are at the tackle. David Brooks and Bill Keophilis at the guards. And as I said, Doug Doss over the ball at center.
All on the 20-yard line.
It's interesting that Fordson has 2,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards passing for the year, so they obviously have a well-balanced offense.
For 32, Abraham Beydoun into the lineup now for Fordson. Ball goes into the center of the line. You see number 21, Laercio Pugina, 5'11", 175-pound senior off the bottom. He gets 2, call it 2nd and 8. Two men split wide now. Brown closest to us. Capuchino wants to pass, and he's going to get sacked by Tim Smigilski.
I have to give the Harrison Hills secondary a lot of credit, Jim. He had time to throw, but there was no one open. I was watching the deep men, and he had no chance to put it up.
We'll take another look at it. Watch for number 79. Fights off a block. Kopchia decided he was going to have to run out of the pocket just a little too late. Set that defense for you, as you see there. Steve Orsini at one end, Bill Stewart at the other. Smigilski and Jerry Elzen at the tackles. Jim Barkach is the nose guard for the Hawks. Dave Blackmer and Jamie Schaefer, the Harrison linebackers. Flynn Baker and Rick Main at the cornerbacks. Chris Thompson is the monster, and John Miller at safety. Kopchia wants to throw, goes long, complete.
Just a straight fly pattern, Jim. He took off from the line and moved straight downfield.
Number 20 is Kevin Harris. You'll watch it happen here. Beautifully thrown pass. At the 41-yard line of the Tractors. Dearborn on the move now. Play covers 21 yards. 1st and 10 from there. Kopchia brings his team to the line. Just one back behind him now. The pitch will go to him. That's Pugina. Gets outside, turns the corner, gets just short of midfield. Taken out over there by safety man John Miller. Laercio Pugina. He'll come out of the lineup now. Mark Brown checks back in for the Tractors.
Miller has received a lot of credit for his offensive play, Jim, but he's been involved in the last 2 tackles. He does a pretty good job as a safety man.
Gain of 8 on the play. The ball just short of midfield. 2nd down, a long one to go for the Fordson first down. Full house backfield out of the eye. This is Harris. He's got the first down, dances inside the 45 to the 45-yard line. Kevin Harris, that's the 2nd first down for Fordson. If you just joined us, Farmington Hills took the ball on the opening kickoff. They drove down the field in a good long drive, mixing passes and rushes till they got down to around the 30-yard line, and they stalled out and had to kick the ball away. And now Fordson has taken the punt, and from their own 8-yard line have driven to the Hawks 44. Draw play, and it's read beautifully. There to make the hit, Jerry Elson, number 75, and number 33, Dave Blackmer.
Blackmer read that play beautifully. He shot through the gap and met him in the backfield.
Loss of 3 on the play. The ball spotted at the 47-yard line of the Hawks. Call it 2nd down, 13 to go. We've got 1 minute 40 seconds left to play in the first quarter of this, the Class A State High School Championship football game.
Taking a long time to get this play off. Yes, too long.
Timeout for Dearborn.
And wisely, Fordson calls a timeout, and the entire team will come over and huddle up with their head coach, Charlie Justice, as we take a look at the Fordson cheerleaders. As we said before, a very, very good crowd for this game. 2 very local schools. There we look across the field to Farmington Hills Harrison head coach John Harrington. He said bringing his team back for a 4th time for the 1981 Class B champions. Both Fordson and Farmington Hills have qualified for playoff competition on 4 different occasions. Fordson has been in 79, 80, 81, and now in 82. Farmington Hills Harrison was here to the finals, in fact, in 1976. They were beat by Midland Dow. Came back in 80, got to the semifinals, were defeated by Okemos. 1981, last year, they beat Muskegon Catholic Central in a terrific Class B contest, 7-0.
Well, 2nd and long. Expect to see him go up.
Minute 28 left to play in the first quarter, no score. Kopcha brings his team in the line. Full house backfield behind him from the eye. Power eye. Fakes the handoff into the line, looks to throw. Completed. That's Abraham Baydoun. He made 2 key receptions in last week's game.
A holding penalty, Jim. It's going to nullify it.
Play would have covered about 7 yards. See referee Tom Donahue out of Grand Rapids. The officials for this game: Donahue, umpire Gerald Hausman of Lansing, Tom Essenberg from Grand Rapids is the linesman, and the line judge is Robert Vanderweer from Granville, Michigan.
Now, from the point of the foul, that was about an 18-yard penalty.
And you add the 7 that they gained on the pass play, it cost them about 25 yards all total. Ball will be spotted at the 34-yard line of the Tractors. 2nd down, call it 32 to go for the first down. They'll throw a quick look in, little flea flicker, and
it's rolled down.
Whistle the ball dead at the 41-yard line.
An excellent play, but it was the right call, Jim. His knees were down before he landed with the ball. Fordson fans aren't terribly happy about it, but I don't think there's any question that his knees were on the ground before he got rid of that ball.
Bowden right there is the man, or Baydoun rather, the man who made the catch, and we'll take another look, see if we can pick it up. Yep, you can see his knee on the ground as he pitched it out. That was Kevin Harris. So a tough break for the Tractors. That would have opened things up because I think he would have gone. As it is, it's only a gain of about 7. Still 25 yards to go. 3rd down for the Tractors from their own 41-yard line. Popcho drops straight back. He gets rid of one tackler, puts the home run ball up.
Completed. No, he says no. I thought for a minute he called it complete. Well, the Dearborn fans are unhappy. We'll watch it again.
See if we can pick it up here.
Blackmer really comes through. No, good call again. A good call again. His foot came down on the white part of the field.
And so the Tractors are going to have to punt the football away. Spiraling kick, fair catch called for at the 33-yard line. Taken there by John Miller, and so the Hawks of Farmington Hills will have their second crack at the football with just 38 seconds left in the first quarter.
Two very close calls on Dearborn, or they had something going. Both were called correctly, though.
Now, both teams managed to get to the opponent's 40-yard line approximately before they were shut down. And both were shut down very effectively. The Hawks, Kish pitches to Miller. Great pursuit on the part of the Tractors defense. Number 86, Mark Brown, off the bottom of the pile.
Doesn't look like Miller's going to get much room outside.
Give him 2 on the play. Call it 2nd and 8 for the Hawks of Farmington Hills. 15 seconds left in the first quarter. No score from the Silverdome. Kish back to throw. He's got some room to run.
No, beautiful defensive play.
Again, it's Mark Brown, number 86, the 5'11", 180-pound senior, there to make the stop.
As the quarter goes.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter from the Silverdome. As first we take a look at the replay of this, Kish decides to run just a second too late. Mark Brown catches him from behind, and we end the first quarter with the score: the Hawks of Farmington Hills nothing, the Dearborn Fordson Tractors nothing.
Very quick movement on the part of Brown. It looked like Kish might have some room, but he never saw Brown coming.
Kish, when he rolled out, had some room immediately. He still wanted to put the football up and hesitated just a little too long.
That entire quarter, Jim, was taken up with just almost 2 possessions, and that was about all. Each team kept the ball for about half the quarter.
And 2 very excellent drives. Both drives 12 or 13 plays long. Both teams had a lot of exciting plays in there. The one holding penalty against Dearborn Fordson, probably the key to stopping their drive, put them in the hole and forced them to go up, and everybody knew it.
Of course, it was only about 2 inches that kept them from the long pass being completed, too. And that after a good scramble, because Blackmer sure was there to get the quarterback.
So far, it's probably the most exciting 0-0 ball game I've ever seen. Okay, we're ready to start the second quarter of play here from the Silverdome. This is Ken Kish for Farmington Hills. Looks to pass, throws out in the flat, complete. Number 86 is Rick Main.
Nothing much to say about that, except it was an excellently thrown football. He did not have much room to get that ball in and put it right over the shoulder.
And also a very dangerous pass. 2 Tractor defenders right there. Had either one of them stepped up, it would have been 6 points. As it is, the ball is at the Dearborn 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Hawks of Farmington Hills. Kish calls a signal. Power I. Hands to a sophomore, John Miller. Miller will get inside the 45 to about the 43. stopped by the entire right side of that Dearborn Fordson defense.
Second down and 7.
Give him 3 in the play. Call it 2nd and 7.
Mark Brown is making himself well known out there on defense.
He's at 5'11", 180-pound senior end. Jamie Schaefer is checked in at split end position for the Hawks. He's wide to the right, or to the left rather. That's him in motion to the top of your screen. Kish wants to throw, and that's who he's looking for. Over the middle. Incomplete.
I think Kish was fortunate that that ball was thrown low. A couple of Dearborn ball players had the best shot at it.
Kevin Harris there, the intended receiver, number 86, again, Rick Main. Gordy Dawson checks into the Hawks lineup. Out goes Jim Adams. 3rd down, 7 to go. The ball at the 43-yard line of the Dearborn Fordson Tractors. 11 minutes, 9 seconds left in the first half. No score from the Silverdome.
I have the feeling that Dawson may be the favorite receiver for Kish. He's looked for him a lot, and he's hit him a couple of times.
Kish 5 for 8 in the air. No interceptions so far. And Fordson in that first series of 12 or 13 plays put the ball up 5 times. So seeing 2 very versatile offenses at play here in the Class A championships. Wants to throw again.
Well, he had his man. He just threw behind him. Dawson had cut over the middle and was open.
The ball actually was closer to number 44, Dave Gase of Dearborn Fordson. Gase couldn't get a hand on it. That'll set up a 4th down situation from the 43, 4th and about 7. And John Miller will do the punting from his own 44-yard line. Gets a high wobbly kick away. It'll come down at the 10. It's fielded there at about the 7-yard line and driven out of bounds immediately as Kevin Harris. He'll get back out to about the 15. Fordson will take over the football, but again, deep in their own territory.
Both their possessions have started well inside the 20, and it certainly limits what they can try to do offensively.
A 36-yard punt for John Miller. That's the same super sophomore. He's got punts now of 40 and 36 yards.
Hey, Jim, I was thinking as he was back there in punt formation that having a talented runner like him back there to kick puts a little additional pressure on the defense. You don't peel away too quickly. You've got to be alert for him in the run.
Here you see Larry Kopchia bringing his Fordson Tractors to the line. Flag goes up as the handoff goes to Kevin Harris.
Looked like somebody must have lined up offside, Jim. I didn't see any movement.
Flag went up from the line judge just as the ball was snapped. Apparently must have been what happened. The offside, preliminary indication offside against Harrison. Certainly the Tractors will take that, give them a 1st and 5 situation for the 20. And that's really a significant difference down here now.
Yes, 3 downs for 5 yards. You don't have to worry so much about putting it in the air and turning it over in field position like that. Oh, at the full house tee, Jim. Haven't seen that all day, have we?
I don't believe so. They have shifted in the power I from there, but they don't this time. Give to Pergina off left tackle. He'll get out close to the 1st down. Number 82 is Steve Orsini off the bottom of the pile for the Hawks. There you see the position of the football. It was just short of the 25-yard stripe, and that's where the Tractors have to get for their 1st down.
That really shows the pain of the 5-yard penalty. Instead of having a 2nd and 6, they had a 2nd and just a little bit less than a yard.
And a team like Fordson, they load things to the left side. They could try something here. They pitch to Harris. Turns the corner and is battered out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
And again, John Miller's in on the tackle. He had help, but he does seem to be around the football on defense.
We'll take another look. They ran this earlier for a big gainer. Harris out front, really sort of a student body left. So they flood the left side of the field, and Harris is left as the only back. Number 42, Jamie Schaefer, the linebacker, was there with Miller to help bump Mr. Harris out of bounds. 1st and 10, ball at the 35-yard.
A lot of confidence in Harris's speed.
Again, the full house backfield. Second man through is Harris again. Picks his hole and then trips.
If he'd have made that cut, Jim, he could have been gone. He had a lot of room on this side of the field.
And he knows it.
Yes, he's not happy at all.
As it is, give him 8 on the play. The ball will be spotted at the 43-yard line of the Hawks. 2nd down and a long 2 for the 1st down. Number 32 is Abraham Baydoun checking into the lineup. So coming into your picture there is number 33, Ron Stewart. Capchia wants to throw. In and out of the hands of Baydoun inside Hawk territory at the 44-yard line.
It was a catchable ball, Jim. They do seem to throw a lot of passes out in the flat, though. And as you said earlier, those sometimes tend to be very dangerous.
Well, that'll set up a 3rd down situation now on the long 2 to go. Capchia now 3 of 6 in the passing department. The series started back on the 15-yard line. That's Pagina, and he'll have the 1st down out very close to midfield.
Well, that series of downs, especially the last 2, indicates that Dearborn doesn't have a lot of fear. They had a long 2 yards to go and chose to take 2nd down for a passing down. Still, with all the confidence in the world, they could come back on 3rd and pick up that long 2, which they did.
Kevin Harris now checks into the lineup. Montezeba comes out. Ball just short of the 50-yard line. 9:03 left in the first half of play in the Class A championship. No score. Farmington Hills Hawks against the Tractors of Dearborn Fordson. Fordson with the football. Capchia out of the power I formation. Pitch to Harris, short side, and beautifully defended by Farmington Hills. Over there again, number 82, Steve Orsini.
Looked to me like that might have been a broken play, Jim. He turned looking for someone and had no choice but to go that way and pitch.
Harris, so far the workhorse of this Tractor offense. 5'11", 175-pound senior. Number 32 coming into your picture, Abraham Baydoun. When he comes in, Capchia likes to go to him. 2nd and 12, 8:44 left in the first half.
Here they come.
Everybody coming right. Capchia looks long, goes for the home run. Just overthrown, and that was Abraham Baydoun. He had maybe a step on his defenders, John Miller and Chris Thompson. Take another look, and look at the time Capchina has to throw the football.
Well, Harrison sent a blitz that time, but it was picked up very effectively at the line, giving him time to get that ball that far downfield. It would have taken an awfully well-thrown pass, but almost there.
Just overthrown. Check that, 86 was Rick Main back on the defense. Capchina again to throw, this time in the flat, complete.
He got the 1st down by inches, Jim. Unbelievable.
There you see Abraham Baydoun, and he was hit hard.
I can't believe that young man knew where the 1st down marker was quite that effectively, because the way I see it, they are right on the stick. I think they're going to bring him across to measure.
We'll take another look. Look at this catch, too, and concentration. Tucks it away, and you can't defend that pass much better than that.
Well, it's short, looks like, by about 3 or 4 inches. Maybe even less than that.
There now that they picked the chain up from the sideline. You can see just how closely to that marker referee Tom Donahue is placing the ball.
I don't see any signs of a punting team coming on, Jim.
It'll be 4th down. The ball's at the 40, just outside the 41-yard line. I don't know.
I don't believe he did.
An incredible defensive play by the Hawks. And I think it's probably going to be close. Well, no, now they're marking it back. I don't think they're going to even have to measure it. They don't. They turn the ball over.
He never got any momentum started forward at all. Nothing but white shirts to meet him.
Number 61 with a hand on the leg there was nose guard Jim Barkach. We've got 8:16 left in the first half. Still no score and a very, very exciting football game as Ken Kish brings his Hawks to the line of scrimmage in the I formation. They'll go to the reverse. This is Baker. Gets around the corner across the 50 to the 45.
Very nice play. Baker dipped his shoulder in and brought the defensive backs up and then outran them. Watch his move. Looks like they have him cornered and he just starts up a little bit. Now he'll move to the outside.
And you can see there from the amazing blue shirts that it really wasn't the reverse that fooled anybody. It was just a great burst of speed by Flynn Baker. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. The Farmington Hills Hawks. Draw play. Good move by sophomore John Miller inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. Number 76, John Drummond checks into the defensive line for Greg Koleski. Second down, 4 yards to go for the Hawks of Farmington Hills. 7:23 left in the first half. Kish will put it up in the flat. How is it ruled?
I think they're calling it complete, Jim. He's marking the ball right there.
Jim Adams, number 23, and they mark it again very, very close to the chain. As you can see, the ball is only about 2 feet from the sideline, and they're going to have to bring the chains out to measure. That's how close it is.
That's a first down.
And it is a first down.
22-yard line.
This is the closest to a scoring threat we've had, isn't it, Jim?
It certainly is. Neither team has gotten this far into enemy territory. The ball spotted at the 22-yard line. 1st and 10. This is Miller. No place to go. It'll be interesting to see here if the Hawks choose to go to the ground when they get down around the 20-yard line. Ken Kish, 6 of 10 in the air so far in the ball game.
Well, based on that play, it looks to me like they may have to go up. Fordson closed that play down in a hurry.
Clock running with 6.5 minutes left in the first half. Kish to pass. Looks over the middle. Incomplete.
Incomplete. Said he trapped it. It looked to me like he had Miller open for a minute and threw it behind him.
Kevin Harris was the Dearborn Fordson safety man that just about had the football. And again, it's thrown right to him.
And see behind Miller. He had him open and just didn't hit him. It's tough timing play with that back out of the backfield. They try to throw it that quickly.
And there you can see another close call for the officials, but another good call. 3rd and 10 now for the Hawks.
Draw play.
Miller read beautifully, and he's got no place to go. Good defensive play by middle guard Rich Farini.
Well, we may find out about Blackmer in the field goal now. We're certainly within his normal range.
Number 33, Dave Blackmer, is putting on a different shoe. It must be his kicking shoe, as we'll see what happens to Miller. Watch number 66 come out of his middle guard position. Read that play beautifully.
Gave him nothing.
It's Bill Kiafalis, number 65, up to help out.
Putting the tee down about the 28. It'll be about a 38-yard kick.
And now Farmington Hills Harrison wants a timeout. They don't want to have to be in a position to rush this. Remember, last week in the 2 semifinal football games for the right to come to the Silverdome for this Class A championship, there were no touchdowns scored. So these field goals become very, very critical. Fordson, as you recall, beat Saginaw Arthur Hill 3-0 on a 30-yard field goal by Richard Brooks. And this same Dave Blackmer kicked 2 field goals in their defeat of Milford Lakeland 6-3.
Well, this is certainly within his range. He was practicing from 50 yards before the game.
Ball is going to be spotted at the 28-yard line. It'll be a 38-yard field goal attempt for Dave Blackmer, an all-state kicker. Ball spotted. It's booted. It's long enough.
Missed it to the left.
And so that will go as a touchback. And the Tractors of Dearborn Fordson dodge a bullet. The Hawks were knocking at the door. .58 left in the first half. There we see the situation. Kopchia keeps.
Faked to 2 men and followed right behind him through the line and broke out for a nice 7-8 yard gain.
Larry Kopchia, 6'5", 210 pounds, senior quarterback. Give him 8 on the play, call it 2nd down and 2 to go. The Tractors have been able to get significant gains on those first down plays and have set them up on their drives. It's when they've been stopped on first down that they've been stopped on all 4 downs. Now from the full house backfield. This is halfback Laercio Pugina. He'll get the first down out across the 30-yard line to about the 32. This is Pugina coming out. See going into the lineup, number 20, Kevin Harris.
On the 32-yard line.
It's nice to have 2 active runners like that. Trade back and forth.
Charlie Justice doing a lot of shuffling in his lineup, both in that backfield and at the split positions. Nobody split this time, though. Full house, 2 tight ends.
Well, Harris gets another good gain.
Harris in the line. Stopped by Blackmer.
That time for 7. Statistics very even at this point in the second quarter. 4:22 left in the half. Each team with 3 first downs. Kopchia is 4 of 8 in the air. 2nd and about 3 from the power I. This is Ron Stewart. Stewart will get close to the first down, but I think he'll be just short.
Stewart carried the ball into the line. Stopped by Orsini.
Ball spotted at the 41-yard line. That's Ron Stewart now coming out of the lineup.
3rd and 1.
It's a very key play, Jim, with about 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. A first down here puts Dearborn in a position where they can eat up a lot more of the clock before halftime.
Well, I'll tell you, I hope nobody goes very far away because we've got a lot of football coming after the half at this rate. From the T formation, a little trouble in the backfield, but he gets the first down.
May have been a break for him. He did a little bit of zigzagging there, and the hole opened up.
Paul Potterziba had a little trouble handling the football here. Well, it doesn't look like it might have been trouble. He saw that the hole was closed up and did a little jute step outside and gets the first down. For Fordson now, they've been in the 3rd down situation 5 times. They've been successful 3 of those 5 times. And they've been on very key 3rd down situations. From the 43-yard line now, this is Harris.
Harris carries the ball.
They'll get out to maybe the 47, 48. It'll depend on where they spot it.
A lot of that was just out of a dive, too. He was stopped and decided to get what he could.
2nd down and 6.
Call it 48. Give him 4 on the play. Call it 2nd and 6. 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Still no score in this Michigan High School Class A football championship.
You have to wonder if they're going to put it up soon, Jim, to see if they can get something on the board before halftime. The clock is running down.
Of course, with Blackmer for Farmington Hills, anything inside the 30 is a threat. They're not in a real safe position yet. This is Harris. Good defensive play. Number 80, monster back Chris Thompson up to make the stop. We'll take another look at it. Watch him blitz through here and catch Harris just about at the line of scrimmage. Good hard tackle.
That play has been fairly effective for Dearborn up to that one.
Loss of a couple on the play. 3rd and a long 7. 2 men split wide to the left. Quick out pass. This is Baydoun. Cuts back inside. He's across the 45-yard line. First down.
Well, I suspect that Dearborn will start to gamble a little bit now.
That's the first down.
Now they're in their hurry-up offense.
Ball at 45.
Clock is running. 1.5 minutes left. Kopcha drops straight back. Wants to put it up. Goes over the middle. Has a man open. Complete.
So Harris.
We'll take another look at this. Harris wide open, curls in under the deep zone. Closest man to him was Rick Main. Main saves the remainder of the gain. And now we've got a timeout, and this timeout is going to be called by Farmington Hills Harrison.
Well, the only thing I can figure is that they didn't have the defense set and they didn't want to gamble on it because they certainly have no other reason to stop that clock right now. Dearborn has 2 timeouts left.
Last pass covered 20 yards. This drive started at the Dearborn 20-yard line. So they've covered 54 yards in 9 plays. They've eaten up a lot of the clock. Now they're threatening with 1:19 left in the first half. And you've got to keep in mind, Joe, we talk an awful lot about Dave Blackmer and his all-state kicking ability for Farmington Hills Harrison, but we can't forget Richard Brooks, who won that game last week with a 30-yard field goal against Fordson, and he was practicing from 40 yards out before this game, and that looked to me, at least in the pregame, to be just about his range.
Well, they're getting close to the point where that's about all he needs. Got a first down. You got 1 minute and 20 seconds almost left. And their short passing game has been effective for him.
Kopcha has had 10 passing attempts. He's completed 6 of them for 69 yards. And just about every one that he's thrown, he's had somebody open. He'll try again. Out in the flat, complete. That's Kevin Harris. He couldn't get out of bounds. That was a dangerous cross-field pass. It was almost picked off, in fact, by Blackmer. A couple of more steps. Quickly, the Tractors come back and line up. They get maybe 4 on that play. The ball's at the 22. Kopchia back again. Looks toward the end zone. Incomplete. Throws it behind Kevin Harris.
Well, it stops the clock for them, but I think that if the ball had been thrown better, Harris had a shot at it.
Third down and 6.
So with the clock stopped now, this will give the Tractors a chance to regroup here a little bit. Now this is a critical play with 55 seconds left. It's third down. They still have a long 6 yards to go for the first down. They'd like to get 6 points, but they've got to be thinking first down now. Keep the drive alive and try to get 6, or they're going to have to go for a field goal that's going to be close to Brooks' range. Kopchia.
Jim, they came right back with the same play.
It was a good bullet pass.
Harris was open in the same way he was in the last one, and this time he got the ball.
From the 5-yard line, this is Harris. Stacked up, he drives ahead. He'll get into about the 3. Quickly, the Tractors call timeout. They still have 1 timeout remaining.
And they'll probably want to save that in case they do need the field goal.
Second and 3. Goal.
Ball will be spotted at the left-right hash mark at the 3-yard line. We take a look at the Fordson side of the field here. And there you see the Farmington Hills Harrison Hawks. Now we look into the offensive huddle of the Tractors. A scoreless first half, but nevertheless a very, very exciting first half. Remember, on a 4th and about 2 inches a while back, the Farmington Hills Harrison defense was able to rise to the occasion. Can they do the same thing at the 3-yard line? From the power I formation, Kopchia calls the signals. This is Harris.
He's in, I believe. Yes, they call him a touchdown.
It is a touchdown. Kevin Harris.
They went to the side where they had their power, and it was effective.
We'll take another look.
Cut back, and the only seam he had.
And the cheer you hear is from our replay, which was put on the electronic scoreboard here at the Silverdome. The fans had another chance to see Harris do that, much of it by himself. This is Richard Brooks. Ball spotted, it's up. And it is good. And so, with 31 seconds left in the first half, the Tractors of Dearborn Fordson go on top. 7-0. That drive going 80 yards in 15 plays. And a variety of plays. A very, very well executed drive.
Yes, and a couple of the key ones were those passes to Harris. Harris seems to be able to get open just short of the umbrella zone. Well, that's a pretty quick turnaround from a attempted field goal by Harrison to a touchdown by Fordson.
And for those of you turning in, we'll get that score turned around for you momentarily. It is, in fact, Dearborn Fordson Tractors on top of the Farmington Hills Harrington Hawks, 7-0.
the ideal kind of a drive, Jim. You leave 31 seconds on the clock. Not much time.
Richard Brooks, number 67, will do the kicking off. John Miller and Gordy Dawson deep for the Hawks. Good kick will come down at the 1-yard line to Miller, and he'll come out. It's across the 10, and he's hit right at the 11-yard line.
Very aroused Dearborn Fordson team right now.
And what's significant now, equally significant in looking at the time left on the clock, just 25 seconds, as we take another look at this kick, which is, number one, just a perfect kick. Miller realizing that he's got to come out with the football. And watch this specialty team. Well, if your kickoff team can do this all the time and keep that opponent inside the 15, you're going to win some football games.
Yes, indeed, and they are hitting hard.
The Hawks decide to let the clock run out, and that'll end the first half of play with the Tractors of Dearborn Fordson on top, 7-0. And there you see a very happy Fordson team heading toward the locker room. But we have a whole lot of football. We have a whole lot of football left ahead of us. Joe Roberson, 7-0, but the most exciting 0-0 ball game for 2 quarters I think I've ever seen.
Well, both teams moved the ball, but both teams played good defense. That sounds inconsistent to say, Jim, but it's exactly what happened. Just a well-played football game.
Well, we look forward to a very exciting second half, and we'll be back with all that action right after this. Jim Gaver along with Joe Roberson back for the second half from the Silver Dome of the Michigan High School Class A championship football game. And a good one it is. And Joe, you can see just how close it is from those statistics.
Yes, indeed. The difference in total yards is a little bit bigger than what I'd have guessed it would have been. Both teams have moved the ball, but it was a couple of really key passes in that last drive right before the halftime that put Dearborn Fordson where they are.
Fordson ahead, 7-0, scoring from 3 yards out with just about 30 seconds left in the first half of play for the only score of the football game. And what you would think might be dreadfully boring was a very, very exciting game. And that one touchdown coming on an 80-yard drive in 15 plays that was just incredibly well executed. The score coming from Kevin Harris, who's been the real workhorse for Dearborn in this football game thus far, both in terms of his running and his passing, pass receiving rather. Now a key issue here, Joe, in that last minute touchdown for Dearborn Fordson was that they had lost the toss at the beginning of the game, so they get the score and now get the football right back.
Yes, and that gives them an opportunity to put a little distance between themselves and Harrison. It's still going to be tough, though. Harrison has not certainly given up big chunks of yardage until that last drive.
There you see number 20 for Dearborn Fordson, Kevin Harris. He'll be deep to take the kick along with John Janowitz, and that kick will come from that young man, Dave Blackmer.
Blackmer will kick off for Farmington Harrison.
And we're ready for second half action. There's the kickoff. It'll come down on the far side to Harris. He'll take it at the 10. Across the 20, still on his feet.
Harris with the ball.
So the Tractors of Dearborn Fordson will put the ball in play right there.
Stopped by Isaac.
Number 72 off the bottom of the pile for Farmington Hills is Ben Chen.
First and 10.
Well, this first drive could be very important, Jim. Harrison has to slow them down. If they don't, and they get something up on the board, it could be a long second half.
Harrison only had one drive that got them into Dave Blackmer's range, and a 38-yard field goal by Blackmer went wide. We're at 7-0, just underway here in the second half of the Class A championship. This is Pugina. He'll get a few over the middle across the 25 out to about the 28. Up off the bottom of the pile, Jamie Schaefer.
Fordson has started to split a lot of people out, and looks like they're in a passing formation, but they go up the middle for the 4 or 5 yards, just as they did on that play.
There you see the Dearborn Fordson huddle. We'll set that offensive line for you. John Drummond and Mike Agamy at the tackles. David Brooks and Bill Chiaopoulos at the guards. Doug Doss over the ball at center. He sets up. Full house backfield. Larry Capchita calls the signals. Capchia carries himself.
Tackled by Thompson.
Now that's a play that picked up good yardage for him a couple times in the first half. He fakes to both backs coming through the hole, and then he follows them in.
This time he gets about 2. The ball spotted just across the 30-yard line. 3rd down and 3 to go. That's Dave Blackmer, number 33, checking into the, or Ron Stewart, rather, into the Tractors lineup. Full house backfield, 2 tight ends, 3rd and 3. Kopcha calls the signals.
Oh, big hole.
Potter Zeba, the big fullback, out over the 35 to the 40-yard line. A gain of about 10 on the play. Give him the first down. We'll take another look.
That's a first down.
Little trap play.
Very well blocked. They set their power all to the right, fake to the right, and then brought the fullback back over the left side.
Back to live action now from the 40-yard line. Kopcha brings his team to the line. Power I formation. Now he sets his other back. They go to a straight T. This will be Harris.
Harris to the line.
Looks like maybe he audible that, saw a hole over on the left side, and decided to run straight at it.
Give him 5 on the play. Call it 2nd and 5. Kevin Harris. He's got the only score of this football game with 31 seconds left in the first half. He went in from the 3-yard line on the 15th play of an 80-yard drive, and that's the scoring, 7-0. The Tractors of Dearborn Fordson on top in this Class A Michigan High School State Championship. 33 is Ron Stewart. He'll try the left side, get a couple.
Right back to the position they were in the last drive, or the last series of downs. 3rd down, 2 or 3 to go. So far, their success ratio must be pretty good on those 3rd down plays.
They've had a 3rd down situation 7 times and converted it successfully 4 of those 7 times. So it's 3rd and a long 2. Kopcha with the long count. Second man through. Harris, he's got the first down and more.
He just needed a step or 2, Jim, and he was gone to the races.
Defensive end Steve Orsini reached out and grabbed him by the ankles, and that makes the difference.
Excellent blocking up front. Look at him go through that hole.
That's a first down.
You can see number 82, the defensive end, Orsini, coming from the top of your picture there. And that saved a big gain, possibly saved 6 points. Ball in Farmington Hills Harrison territory, just outside the 40-yard line.
Nothing there.
Harrison to the line.
Dave Blackmer, the linebacker, leads the charge. Also in there, Smigilski and Jerry Eisen, the 5'10", 195-pound junior tackle. .750 left in the 3rd quarter of this Class A championship game. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Ball possession is really becoming the style for Fordson right now. 4.5 minutes control of the ball this half.
From the power I. Fake, bootleg to the right.
Oh.
Kopcha will keep it and just gets tripped up.
Stopped by Thompson.
It looked to me, Jim, like maybe he read his block wrong. He had a man out in front of him, and they didn't coordinate the block and the run, but if they had, he had a lot of room to run.
As you can see there, he comes up limping just a little bit, but he appears to be okay.
Oh, are we going to see our first pass of the third quarter?
Third and long. This would be the place for it. They load things to the left. They've done this before, then pitch to Harris. Not this time. They want to go up with it.
Too far.
Overthrows his intended receiver, Abraham Beydoun, at the 26-yard line. That'll set up a fourth down situation and undoubtedly bring on Richard Brooks. He'll kick the football away. Or we'll check that. It won't bring on Brooks. It will bring on David Geis, the punter.
Nice high kick.
Come down at the 15, take a Dearborn bounce, get down at the 12-yard line, and so the Hawks of Farmington Hills Harrison, trailing 7-0 in this football game, will have their first possession of the second half.
Ball is down on the 12-yard line.
Well, you're going to start from a hole. It's hard to use your full offense when you're down that close to the goal line.
Ken Kish brings his team to the line in the I formation. Pitch to his deep man, Miller. Miller, the super sophomore, one of only 2 sophomores starting for anybody on this Saturday of Michigan High School Athletic Association Championship football.
Dearborn has really effectively cut off his outside moves. He has picked up, like he did then, 3-4 yards a couple of times, but we've never seen the time where he looked like he was in danger of breaking the big one.
He had 83 yards in last week's semifinal game against Milford, although there wasn't much to run with in all the mud and rain. This is Miller again, tries to get outside, and it's not there.
Knocked out of bounds by Burnett.
We'll set that Fordson defense for you. Mark Brown and Mario Brunetti are at the ends. Greg Koleski and John Cascardo are at the tackles. Rich Serini in at the middle guard. Bill Keophilus and Ron Stewart are the linebackers. John Drummond also in and out of that defensive line. Hassan Saad and Hassan Jaffer are the cornerbacks. Lauricio Pugina is the rover, and Kevin Harris is at safety for the Tractors of Dearborn Fordson on defense. 3rd and 2 for the Hawks. Fake, they want to go up with it. They do, and it's in and out of the hands of number 25, Jim Adams.
Now that's very painful, Jim. They're going to have to punt a ball away again and bring that Farmington Hills defense back out, and they have already played 6 minutes.
This is kind of a surprising pass for a 3rd and 2 situation. It's not necessarily surprising that they passed, but the kind of pass they threw, you can see a lot of room inside. A little quick pass over the middle would have had the first down. They took the gamble and lost. And so John Miller will have to punt the football away from his 10-yard line. A low end over end kick will come down to the 45. We'll have a run back. This is Harris. Looks outside. Beautiful defensive play. Number 18, Flen Baker, and he was the only safety that Farmington Hills Harrison had on that play, or Harris would have had some room.
Yes, and it looked like a blocker ran right by and had a shot at him too.
So good field position for the Tractors as their defense shuts the Hawks down after 4 plays. 1st and 10 for Dearborn Fordson at their own 49-yard line. They come up in the power I formation. Kopcha calls his signals. He'll throw on 1st down over the middle. Intercepted. That's John Miller up the sideline. He gets across midfield. There is a flag on the play, however. The flag was thrown in the offensive backfield where you would normally see a holding penalty on a pass play. And that's exactly what it is. It'll be declined, and so the Hawks of Farmington Hills get the first real big break of the football game.
He had his man open and just overthrows him, as you can see here, Jim. And it's a very fine reception on the interception.
just on his fingertips. This is the sophomore that we've been talking about, John Miller.
So far, he's been more impressive defensively than offensively.
So the Hawks now in tractor territory at the 49-yard line. And Kish will go to the air. Flares it out to Miller, and he drops the football.
Looked like an easier catch in his interception. They flooded that side, sent 2 men deep, and ran Miller in behind him, and he was open.
And it seems that that's what they're going to have to do if they're going to move this football, is get Miller out with some running room and let him do some open field running.
So far, Fordson has been able to hold their running game to a minimum.
Kish back to throw again. Play action over the middle, complete. That's Jamie Schaefer at the 30-yard line of the Tractors.
And that play wasn't badly defended against either, Jim.